Good evening, everybody. So, 2 nights I had off. I hadn't planned 2 nights off, but then I decided to take 2 nights off because I was having quality family time. So anyway, I'm just going to welcome those of you coming in now on the live, and also those of you coming in on the replay. This is being recorded on Tuesday, the 19th of June 2018. Hello, Shania. How are you? I'm just back after 2 nights of not being live, and the reason for that was I was having quality family time. My son and his girlfriend did a very brief stopover to the island and away again, and so I just thought I'd take time to spend with them. Hi Karen, nice to see you. So I'm just bringing my table with all my props on here because I've got some things to prompt. Hi Juliet, lovely to see you all. So did you miss me? Did anybody miss me? So let me just say, so I last broadcasted on Saturday night. I think I'd been out to a concert, hadn't I? And yeah, so it was Saturday night I last broadcast. Sunday night I was going to broadcast, and it was Father's Day, and I was remembering you. Oh, that's so nice. Anyway, I missed you lot too. But you know, as I say, my son and his girlfriend did a very quick trip to the island. It was, hi Andy, it was business based. Hi Taryn. But it was business based. We had a very important meeting today. I can't reveal the contents of that meeting at the moment, but all will be revealed in due course. Hi Paul. So as I say, Tristan was here. So we were making the best of family time. So Sunday, as I say, I didn't broadcast. Hi Steve. It was Father's Day. I did talk about my own father on Friday, because actually Friday was the anniversary. Sorry, my things are. Friday was the anniversary of my dad's death. The 8 years since he left us. But I was sharing a lot of very happy memories. For me, it's all about the memories we built, and we built a lot of memories, so there's a lot of memories to have. But I just want to show you something. I think I told you on that previous broadcast that my dad died on the Tuesday as it was Father's Day on the Sunday in the year that he died, 2010. And I was a bit more organised than usual. I had bought his card and a small present for him in advance. Normally I'm a last minute Lil, but I hadn't. That year I'd bought them in advance. I think I almost knew that I wasn't going to give them to him. But this is something that sits, hi Keith, this is something that sits in my bedroom and reminds me of my dad. This was a little something that I bought for my dad that year, but never gave him because obviously he passed before it was Father's Day. But it makes me smile all the time whenever I see it, because what it actually says, it says, I smile because you're my dad. I laugh because there's nothing you can do about it. And it has the best dad written, a little star with the best dad on it, and it sits in my bedroom, and it's another reminder of my dad and the fun we had and the laughing and the smiling. I don't know what the card is somewhere, but I need to tidy up and find the card. The card had slipped down, so I didn't find that just now. But that's the plaque that I bought for him and never managed to give him. But you know, it sits here, reminding me of him. So let's just move that out the way. Oh, let's move it out the way. And I was just going to put it on something, on a little pile of knitting. Hi Lynn, look, I've got some knitting here, and this was what I was knitting. I've got some catching up to do because I've got all sorts of odd bits of knitting that I haven't finished, but I hop around like a grasshopper and then I end up finishing them all off in due course. And this I was knitting on Saturday. I went over, those of you who were in the broadcast on Saturday night will know that I went to the Armed Forces parade over in Sandown and live streamed a lot of that on Saturday afternoon. And then I also came back and went to Apley and caught up with some things going on there. So I did lots of live streaming on Saturday. But on the bus over to Sandown, that takes a little while to get to Sandown. So I was knitting, and I was knitting this. And if I roll it over like that, Whoops, I don't know if you can guess and see what it is. And then there's some little bits of yellow that are going to go on here. They're going to go randomly on here. So I don't know if you can guess what this is. I will probably might have to tell you. Anybody guess what it is? The lady on the bus behind me leant forward and chatted to me. This happens all the time when I'm doing my knitting. Great conversation starters. And she leant forward and talked to me about the knitting, and you know, we had a great conversation. In fact, I didn't get much knitting done because I was talking to her and I was on a bit that I needed to concentrate on. Sometimes, you know, sometimes there's easy bits, like actually what I can do now, I can do a bit of my knitting now while I'm talking to you, because this next bit, yes it is, it's pizza, you're quite right, Karen. Look, so there's the filling. This is the crust. That's got to go like that. That's the crust. It'll be a stuffed crust pizza. So this bit gets filled. These are the little bits of pineapple. And I've just got to do some pepperoni. But I was looking for the right colour wool, because pepperoni is a bit of a funny colour, but I found the right wool. So I will finish that off. But I hop around. I do that. So I've got the pizza to finish. I've got the octopus to finish for Susie. Some of you will know that I had a little bit of a first world problem there when I found that I'd knitted 8 eggs, but legs or tentacles for the octopus, but could only find 7. So on the way over to Newport the other day, I knitted another one. So there's a spare leg around, a spare tentacle around here. It will turn up and it will go. I will knit another octopus to put it on, but don't worry about that. And so I'm just looking around here what I've got. Oh, I've got a little doll I'm doing. That's a little doll over there. I'll show you when it's finished. It's a bit of a secret for a minute. And then, what else have I got on my knitting? This is, oh, let me tell you, actually, yesterday, oh no, wait a minute, I'll tell you in a minute, because I want to do it in the right order, otherwise I get in a total muddle, won't I? So going back to Sunday, well, no, going back to Friday night, I don't know, some of you will remember that I spoke about a memorial garden for my dad. When my dad passed, instead of having funeral flowers, we asked for donations, and the donations were to create a garden behind Ryde Methodist Church where we worshipped, and that was to be in memory of my dad. Now, for some reason, it didn't happen for 2 years. I think there was a bit of blocking going on. We won't go into that, because after 2 years I insisted that money, hi Tracy, that money needed to be put to the garden. That's what that money was for. Anyway, so eventually a garden was made. But since then, I'd actually not actually been worshiping at the church for my own reasons. And on Friday night, I was actually at Ryde Methodist Church for the opera. Annalisa Vaughan, a contact that I've made here on the island, is bringing opera singers to the island. And if, like me, you used to think, it's very highbrow and not for me. Oh, how wrong I was, because it was wonderful. And I recorded a little bit on Friday night, and I don't know if I've put it out yet. I've got a bit behind with all my videos and uploading and that, but I will show you. It was amazing. There's a lot of fun to be had with opera. Anyway, in the interval, I said to Helen, who was one of the stewards on duty, I used to be a steward with her when I was at the church, I said, oh, anything, what's happened to Dad's garden? I wasn't sure, I hadn't followed up on it. Anyway, she said, oh, it's being well taken care of. And so I just slipped out in the interval, because it's just, you go down the side of Ryde Methodist Church and it's round the back, and anybody can go down there. And it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And the 2 guys who were looking after it were actually in the audience of a concert on Saturday night. I know I'm repeating myself a bit, but some of you weren't in on Saturday night's broadcast. So Brian and Peter were actually in the audience of the next concert I went to at the church the next night. And so I went and thanked them very much, because they've done a fantastic job. And Brian was telling me they managed to get a grant of £7,000 to do more work in the garden, and there's some lovely benches there, and it's looking really lovely, and the plaque with my dad's name on is right in the middle of the garden. And I just thought, wow, this is so beautiful. I just want to go and sit and knit in this garden, or sit and I think we'd have to do takeaway coffee, because I don't know where we'd get our coffee from unless there was a coffee morning going on in the church. But I really want to go and sit in that garden. And I was going to do it on Sunday, which was actually Father's Day. But in the end, I didn't. It wasn't a brilliantly warm, nice day, if you remember, on Sunday. And I was quite tired. So I thought, you know what? It doesn't matter that it's Father's Day and I'm not going to go there, because I go there on a nicer day. When I'm down in town, I should go and sit there. So if anybody who's here on the island who'd love to go and sit in that garden with me and chat, or I shall knit probably. Now, why doesn't that surprise you? And I'm going to knit while I'm talking to you. Hi, Cheryl. Because I'm on a bit that I can do, and then I'll tell you what I'm knitting in a minute. And so I'm going to go and enjoy that garden that was in memory of my dad. But what I didn't know was on the other side of behind the church. So there's a bit of garden here, and then you have to go past the other bit and round the other side. They're knitting. No, got knitting on the brain. They're not knitting. They're growing fruit and veg. And so I just thought, wow, what a good use they put into the garden. So I shall be going there, and I'll be going down there this week. So anybody want to join me, let me know. And anybody can go in the garden. It's for anybody it's not just for church people. Apparently some of the workers in Ryde get their sandwiches in the week and go and sit in there, and various other people use it. So it's rather nice to know that my dad's memorial garden is being used, and I think I really ought to use it. And actually what happened while I was when I went in the garden, I did a quick video around the garden, because I knew my siblings would love to see what was going on, because I didn't know if they'd even been in the garden, and they were very appreciative that I shared that with them. So that's caught that bit up. Let's see. So so on Sunday evening, when I was going to do a live stream, suddenly realised, actually, well, no, it was a bit of telepathy. I wasn't quite sure when my son was going to arrive, whether he was coming on Monday or whether he was coming on Sunday. Excuse me. I'm not going to knit anymore, because I think I'm going to lose my place. I'll show you what I'm knitting in a minute. So I sent a message. Isn't it funny? I don't know if any of you ever have situations like this, but I suddenly thought, is Tristan coming Sunday night, or is he coming on Monday in the morning? And so I just was typing a message when he rang me to say, oh, we're on our way. We're going to be on such and such a boat, the ferry. And so that was almost a bit telepathic. Anyway, so he arrived on Sunday. Hi, Mo. And so we had a lovely catch up on Sunday evening when they arrived, and lots of catching up to do. I mean, the reason he came down is I facilitated something, and I facilitated through my live streaming a very important meeting it's quite exciting for us all. As I say, I can't share it yet, but I think it will have a really good conclusion, and so I will let you know once I can spill the beans, but can't do that just at the minute. So anyway, so before they went off this afternoon. We had the meeting this morning, and they went off this afternoon. But yesterday, they went over to Newport, because some of you will have heard of me talking of Commie Coffee, the new coffee shop in Pyle Street in Newport, and Tristan was at college with Matt, who set up the Commie Coffee shop. So Tristan and his girlfriend wanted to go and see Matt and see the coffee shop, and so they went on over, and I followed them over afterwards. And so when I got to the coffee shop, they'd gone, but they'd only gone across the road to B&M, because Emily loves B&M. Although they love B&M as a shop, so they went over there. They came back and joined me in the coffee shop, and it's lovely. It's got, and this time I mean, that's the third time I've been in there. I can tell because I've had a cappuccino each time. The first time I went in there, I had Batman in chocolate on the top. The next time I had Patman on the top. And so this time Matt thought he'd got to give me another one. Because I do social media and I push all my pictures out there, he thought he'd better give me another pattern on the top. So this time it was Flash. You know, the Flash of Flash Gordon. I think the Flash Gordon. I'm not terribly up on these things, but I shall learn. Sitting in a coffee shop like that, I shall learn more about it. And they've got a purple chair. And of course, lots of you know, purple is really my colour. And and apparently, in fact, they got lots of lovely bright coloured chairs in there. And when Matt was doing his research before they opened, and he was thinking about what furniture he was having, he put a questionnaire out about what colours. Thanks for the thumbs up. What colour chairs, and everybody came in with different coloured chairs. So he decided, right, he'll just buy all different coloured chairs. It's really nice. It's like a rainbow in there. It's really, really lovely. And of course, it's all about superheroes, isn't it? So do you know what I'm knitting next? I am knitting. Hi, Karen. I'm knitting a little superhero. Look, there's his legs. And there he is, look, on the book. I'm fine, thank you. Lots of you will know that I've been knitting from this book, 100 little knitted projects, and I've done loads of projects out of this book. I've done the cupcake, started the sunflower, I've done the little football, I've done the melon slice, the pizza's out of here as well. But I spotted that the same designer, Sarah Keane, had got a book called 50 Knitted Dolls. This one, of course, some of you will know I had to go and buy because the library only let me borrow it. Hi, Tony. They only let me borrow it 10 times, so I had to go and get another one. And lovely Leanne, who's one of my viewers, she found it at half the... it's a £15 book, but she found it for me at £8. So this is my own copy. I bought it because the library said I couldn't have it anymore. But I then looked... Hi, Jean. I then looked... you could go online and see if you can find the books you want. And the 50 Knitted Dolls was in the Lord Louis Library, which is the Newport Library here on the Isle of Wight. And as I was going into Newport to meet Tristan and Emily, the number 9 bus stops right by the Lord Louis Library. So I went in and I got this one out. And this is amazing. It's got some wonderful things here. Look, it's got sailor, it's got an artist, it's got a nurse, it's got a fisherman, a cowboy, Santa, bride and groom. There's 50 of them, all different here. A little pirate and a builder. And I think they're pilgrims, those. A fitness instructor, a skateboarder, graduates, boy and girl graduates, a fireman. I think that's an airman, I'm not quite sure, can't see. A footballer, a ballerina, a surfboarder, look. But on the back, a superhero. Now, those of you who are familiar with my broadcast will know that all my knitting is for charity. And so because I was sitting in a shop where they were all surrounding me was superheroes, I thought I'd better make superheroes. And so I said to Matt, would he like some of my little superheroes that he could have in there, and then he could sell them for whichever charity he wanted to do. So I'm sort of mixing and matching to match what, wherever I'm going and whatever I'm doing. Hi Ian, nice to see you. And so I was so excited, but I'm going to try and keep this from the library for as long as I can have it, but then I probably have to go and buy a copy of this. So I'm going to be looking for a good copy, because this is another $14.99. I've already looked online and I haven't found it at a good bargain yet, but I will look, because I probably have to buy that one as well eventually. But lots of fun, having lots of fun with my knitting. But I must start making. I'll make the pizza. I've got a salmon bagel that I've got half done. I got a hot dog that I've got half done. I tend to hop about from one thing to the other. Sometimes I do all the sewing up as I go, and sometimes I leave it and then I do a batch of stuff. But it keeps me amused, keeps me out of mischief, or gets me into more mischief. I don't know which one. But also on my travels, when I was in the Lord Louis Library, I've seen this book before. It's The Clangers. I don't know if any of the older people in the broadcast remember The Clangers. I can't remember what era this was. You know, I mean, it was a long time ago. The Clangers, maybe it will tell me in here. But I know that, I don't think Clive's in here. Yes, I did, Ian. Thank you very much. Very much quality time with my family. And then I thought I better get back on here or you all might think I'd pop me clogs or something. So anyway, yes, so The Clangers, Clive, a friend of mine, he said to me, had I got a pattern for The Clangers? Well, there is a pattern and that's out of the library. And then one of the Lauras, you love The Clangers. About the 70s. Yes, it doesn't actually say it on here, but that's The Clangers. And then Laura, one of the Lauras who comes into the broadcast, she wanted a Chihuahua. Now, the other day when I was trying to say that word, it just completely left my brain. I could see it written down and spelt, but I couldn't remember how to pronounce it. But a Chihuahua. And look what I found. Knitted dogs and puppies. And there in the middle is a Chihuahua. But it's not the same colour as her Chihuahua. 69 to 72. Thank you, Mo. Somebody always comes up with the answers. That's great. What a wonderful audience you are. Yes, so I've got to change the colour of the Chihuahua here to match the Chihuahua that Laura wants. But there you are. That's another book. But on the knitting front, I have to get my entry in. I've been being chased because I haven't put my entry in yet for the horticulture tent at the county show. And I'd inquired about it, and the lady was chasing me and said, the thing is that you have to put photographs in of your entries. Well, I haven't made my entries yet, so I couldn't photograph something I haven't yet knitted. But I messaged her and I said, well, can I send the form in and send the photographs in afterwards? She said, yes, that was fine. So I have to decide, excuse me, I have to actually decide what I'm doing. And so the categories are Time for Tea, In Bloom, and Fruit and Veg. And so I was trying to decide, you know, do I make a garden of flowers? Do I make a basket of flowers? Do I make a basket of fruit? What they want the name of the exhibit. So, you know, it's within the parameters of those In Bloom, Time for Tea and Fruit and Veg. But of course, you know, I don't want to just plonk them down, make them and plonk them down. I don't want to just do some flowers and stick them in a vase. I want to be more creative with that. So my creative brain was, you know, I was trying to get my creative brain going and thinking around that. And thinking, what could I use? What could I use as props? How could I do it? Do I do Time for Tea? Shall I do a strawberry tea? Shall I do tea on the beach? What shall I do? I'm, you know, it's all going through my head. Anybody got any great ideas as to display? I mean, I've got loads and loads of patterns for knitting all the, you know, the tea, the stuff that will go for the tea party. I've got loads of fruit and veg patterns. I'm thinking possibly around a Carmen Miranda hat for that. But if I do that, I will need to borrow. If anybody's got a wig stand, because otherwise I'm not quite sure what I would put the Carmen Miranda hat on to display it at the county show. Time for Tea, $2. Yeah, absolutely. That's sort of what I was thinking, Mo. Or maybe teddy bears. Oh yeah, so they can have a cream tea, or we might have a teddy bears picnic, or I might do both. Depends how much time I've got. You know, whether you know, how much I can get made in the time. Yes, so you know, keep the ideas coming. But also, for September the 1st, I want to borrow a wheelbarrow. If anybody can lend me a wheelbarrow, and again, it's around something I'm going to do that's going to be creative. I will also actually have to get somebody to do live streaming because actually it's something to do with the carnival. And if I'm doing something in the carnival, I can't live stream it. So either I live stream it and somebody goes with my entry in the carnival or whatever. We'll do it that way around maybe. But if anybody, so I'm looking for the July the 8th, but I need it before. Anybody who's got a wig stand that they can lend me, And for the 1st of September, I'm looking for a wheelbarrow. So my audience never usually never fails to deliver. So we'll keep, you know, my network, we'll keep on chatting about it and we'll get them. Hi, Sarah. Nice to see you. I don't know if Clive's in the broadcast, Sarah, but I was just showing everybody that I got the Clangers knitting book. Look, there we go. And there's Carl coming in as well. Lovely to see everybody there. So, yeah, so those were the knitting books. Do I know any? Yes, I do know DJs on the island, and I will let you know after the broadcast. If anybody else knows any other DJs on the island, drop the links in so that Sarah's got choices there, because, you know, we can do that. So I'm going to read out of my Butterfly Whispers book. Hi Heidi. How's your knitting going? Heidi is another knitter. Heidi knits premature baby hats and all sorts of bits and pieces. I've been knitting, look Heidi, this is the latest thing I'm doing, little knitted dolls. All right, yes, okay. All right, well we'll sort out the we'll sort out DJs for you. I'll let you know afterwards. But I'm just going to read out of my Butterfly Whispers book because I love to read this book, and it is today the 19th of June. And actually, my daughter had wanted me in London today as on granny duty, but because we had this important meeting, my son and his girlfriend and I, my daughter had to find somebody else to do the babysitting tonight. So I'm not in London, as you can see. I'm at home because that's a familiar background where I usually broadcast. So anyway, 19th of June. As the story goes, a man saw a scorpion struggling in a deep pool of water. He decided to save it by stretching out a finger, but the creature instantly stung him. Again, the man tried to remove the scorpion from the water, but he was stung again. An onlooker urged him to give up and go home, but the would-be rescuer said, "It is the nature of the scorpions to sting, and it is my nature to love. Why should I give up my nature because it is contrary to the way of the scorpion?" That's a classic. How many of us stop the way we are because it is different than someone else's? From now on, have convictions in your actions and believe in who you are. It's what makes you you. Too many people behave a certain way so they fit in. Be your own person and enjoy who you are. And it's taken me a long time to get there. But, you know, I used to do that, used to try and do what people thought, you know, do what I thought people wanted me to do. But actually, I think you're fast becoming aware that actually I do what I do because of me now, and that's okay. So it's okay for all of you. So that's the 19th of June, the entry here. And I hope you're loving the Butterfly Whispers from there. As I say, Vanessa's going to come on a broadcast, the author of this book. She's going to come on a broadcast. So I must get that those scheduled in. I've got a few people lined up to come on broadcast. I'm going to read out of this book too. This is my book. It's called Kindness. And it says, when kindness is shared, it grows. Unexpected kindness is a powerful thing, and even the simplest of kind acts can have an astonishing effect, because when kindness is shared, it ripples out into the world. Whether giving a kind comment, being a seat vigilante, or going high when others go low, we should choose kindness. After all, it's the little things that matter most. And this is Jamie Thurston wrote this, and Jamie Thurston is the founder of the global movement and charity called 52 Lives. Now, I've been telling you that every time I've read out of this book, and actually I thought I need to look up the 52 Lives, so I have. And I'm just reading the About section. Actually, what I'll do is I'll get the link and drop it in a minute. But it says about us, 52 Lives changes someone's life every week of the year. Our aim is to inspire people to be kind. We believe kindness has the power to change the world. Then it says what we do, changing lives. Every week, 52 Lives helps to change someone's life. We choose someone somewhere in the world in need of help, share their story on our website and social media, and request what that person needs. Our kind supporters then spread the word, offer help if they can, and we change that person's life and inspire millions more who read about our stories of kindness. The people we choose to help come from nominations made through our website. Checks are made to ensure that the requests are genuine, and we have helped with a huge variety of things, from buying teeth for a man in Alabama, building a sensory shed for a toddler in South London who was losing her sight, making video messages for a young boy being bullied, supplying wheelchairs to children in China and the UK, and sending a little girl and her grandma on a holiday after the death of her mother. One of the unique things about 52 Lives is that 100% of what people give goes directly to the person in need, something made possible with the support of our corporate partner, Gala Bingo. And then it goes on to give more details. So what I'm going to do is drop that link in there, because if any of you, whoops, I need to refresh the page because I haven't even got the right page up there. Sorry, folks. But if any of you want to have a look more about that, but you know, I didn't know about it until I bought this book. I just found this book. I think I bought this in the works, this one, and I just love it. I just love the sentiment there. So let's drop this. Whoops, hang on. There we go. Let's drop the link in. There we are. So if you want to read more about 52 Lives, I've just dropped the link in there. So that's, yes. So, what else have I got on here? Oh yes, last night I went to, there's a new society called, they're naming themselves the Ride Society, and it's a group of people who want to make sure that the right things happen in Ride. But it's sort of, there's a lot of different groups, and it's really now about joining up and linking up all the groups so that they all, you know, they're not all too fragmented. So that was quite an interesting meeting. I didn't live stream it, I videoed it. I was sitting in a bit of a difficult position. I was behind a lady who actually kept well, I mean, you know, moving, because, you know, like we all do, but I was sort of trying to video around the lady, and I managed to, well, I got the content, the people, you know, anybody who wants to watch the video to find out what went on in the meeting, they could hear even if I couldn't always see. I'm getting better when I'm out live streaming, of making sure now that I get, you know, a better position. When I was at the Armed Forces Day on Saturday, I managed to squeeze through. There were some people who let me go in the front because I had the camera and I was live streaming. I've also got my, what I can't show you because my camera is, my phone is in it, but I have an iographer with an iographer's a mount for the iPhone, and it's on a tripod. But when I close the legs of the tripod, I can hold the camera right up in the air so I can get over people's heads. So, you know, doing much more and more of that. I want to teach lots more businesses to get live streaming, get their business out there, get seen. You know, I mean, the meeting, this important meeting we had today came about because I've been visible. I've been seen by the people that, you know, called us for the meeting. And it is, you know, lots of people. I mean, I was, you know, I've almost been criticised in the past about being everywhere. But actually, that's what social media is all about. That's actually what we do. Raising visibility, raising awareness is getting in front of people. And it works. Hello, Marika. Nice to see you. And so, you know, that's the live stream. Really, we want to help lots more businesses, lots more causes. You know, that all the good causes, they all need much more awareness. So I'm going to do lots more live streaming, and I enjoy it. You know, and I hope that you do. It's nice that you keep coming back from the broadcasts, and then I get nice messages too when I'm not on live. If like the last 2 nights I've taken a couple of nights out, I get some lovely messages back again. So you know, it's just I enjoy doing it as much as some of you enjoy. I think it's a two-way thing, and if I wasn't, hi, if that's another new friend, and there's Michael. How's the Michael is very involved with Shanklin Theatre. and lots of volunteers over there doing lots of great work. And Marika's a new friend that I met the other day. She's one of the singers that I met from the opera. So every day there's new people coming into our network and sharing it. It's wonderful. And so as I say, I enjoyed the opera. And you know, it was great, and I have a very different view of opera now than I had before before Annalisa introduced me to it, because and then on Saturday night they did the singers, they did this wonderful duet. It was two cats singing to each other, meowing at each other, and I have got the little bit of I've got a little bit of video of that, so I must put it up. So anyway, I'm actually going to end the broadcast shortly because I need to go and get on, do a few more bits, but I'm back live here now. Anybody need anything else that they need highlighted, let me know. Don't forget, I am looking for, just to remind you, I'm looking for a wig stand. If anybody's got a wig stand or knows somebody who's got a wig stand. If anybody knows any DJs, Sarah just asked for anybody. I know one or two, but Sarah's just asked because somebody else has asked. So if anybody's got DJ recommendations, drop the links in. And then in September, I'm wanting to borrow, at the beginning of September, I'm wanting to borrow a wheelbarrow. It's got to be a wheelbarrow that can be pushed. It's not got to be one that doesn't push any, you know, it has lost its wheel or anything. It needs to be able to be pushed. So those are the requests today. I shall, you know, come show you when I finish my little superhero, when I finish my pizzas. I shall get on with some of this. I can do a little bit now before bed. And thank you all for being back in the broadcast, and loving you lots being here. So love you all. See you all soon. Bye for now.